Welcome to ERA in a nutshell, what you need to know about the Equal Rights Amendment. Did you know that we are the only major nation with a constitution that doesn't declare full and equal rights for women? This is the story of how our constitution has remained a relic of the past. Bringing it up to date is the unfinished business of our democracy. Are American women and girls treated fairly by the law? The law is only as strong as the Constitution, and our Constitution doesn't treat men and women equally. It doesn't prohibit sex discrimination. Is this a problem? If a woman is paid 82 cents and a man is paid $1 for the same work, same hours, same experience, it's a problem. If a person faces unfair and damaging obstacles at work, in hiring, training, and promotion, and a safe atmosphere without sexual harassment, or if medical insurance or care treats women differently and unfairly, it's a problem. Everyone should be made safer from sexual and gender-based assault. However, most sexual violence is directed toward women, and most sexual abuse is directed toward girls, and this is a terrible problem. Don't our laws take care of these cases? We have laws, many laws, but laws get changed or are simply not enforced. They can be repealed or repeatedly threatened or blocked. With the recent Dobbs decision by the Supreme Court overturning 50 years of abortion rights, Americans are seeing that law isn't settled unless it is firmly and clearly founded in the Constitution. And our Constitution is old. It was written in 1787 by a small minority of white privileged men. It was a time when slavery was legal, when women had no right to own property, to keep their wages, to work in a profession, to hold office, or to have custody of their children. Women had no part in the writing of that Constitution. In 1920, the 19th Amendment gave women the right to vote, and this is the first and only mention of women's rights in the Constitution. The Equal Rights Amendment was first proposed 3 years later, in 1923. It was written by Alice Paul, a young lawyer who had been prohibited from practicing law because of her sex. It reads, "Equality of rights under the law shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex." Not more rights or fewer rights, just equal rights. She wrote that over 100 years ago, and it is still not recognized. In the 1970s, the federal ERA finally passed both houses of Congress and went to the states for ratification. A time limit was inserted by the opposition. Ratification fell 3 states short of the required 38 states during the time given, and that has kept our Constitution in the 18th century. Recently, the ERA has come back to life. In defiance of the time limit, 3 more states finally ratified: Nevada in 2017, Illinois in 2018, and Virginia in 2020. The amendment has now met all requirements of the Constitution. By a vote in Congress, it should be recognized as the 28th Amendment. It has passed the House, but it is blocked by filibuster rules in the Senate. As Americans, we are governed by 2 constitutions, a U.S. Constitution and a state constitution. Both need an equality amendment. Given the deadlock in our nation, we must look closer to home for the equal rights we deserve. About half the states have equality provisions in their constitutions, and several others have amendment campaigns underway. Maine's 1820 Constitution, with its 177 amendments, does not prohibit sex discrimination. Not yet. And that's the work we have to do. Recent state ERA proposals in Nevada, Minnesota, and New York go beyond prohibiting sex discrimination. They include protection for groups most often linked with sex discrimination by race, color, age, disability, gender expression, and national origin. The Constitution that assures these basic human rights will be a powerful foundation for state laws about equal pay for equal work, equal access to education and employment, full access to health care, including reproductive care, fair pensions for old age equity, better protection from sexual harassment and violence, including domestic violence and sexual abuse of children, fair insurance rates, ending unjust gender rating for good. These are issues that disproportionately affect women, girls, and other less powerful groups. All of these rights are stronger with a state ERA. As a state, Maine can stand strong as a democracy. It can do what our federal Constitution has so far failed to do, to give equal rights under the law to all people who live here. A state ERA moves us in the right direction. What can you do? Join us. Equal Rights Maine are grassroots supporters of the ERA. We're working alongside Maine Women's Lobby, the experienced advocates for women's issues in Maine. Together, as a coalition, we are building a strong campaign to amend the Maine Constitution with the state ERA to complete the unfinished business of democracy. And we need your help. Join us to receive our newsletters and calls to action when we need you to call your legislators. Ask your friends to join too. Hold a house party. Share this video to spread the word. Make this your mission too. Thanks for listening. Now, go out and talk about it with someone. Check out our website, keep in touch, and learn more as we move forward.